Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at a complete fundamental rewiring of the digital economy. We're talking about massive technological and psychological shifts that are coming at us fast. Honestly, the year 2026 is shaping up to be this absolute inflection point where the digital tools we use every day are going to transform from passive information gatherers into active, autonomous participants in our lives and businesses. It's a thrilling and, yeah, maybe slightly daunting future, but by the end of this explainer, we're going to figure out exactly how to prepare for it together. Okay, let's dive into this. What happens when the internet stops giving you links and actually starts taking action? Just imagine asking your device to plan a dinner for 4 people, complete with highly specific dietary restrictions. Instead of just spitting out a list of restaurants and recipe blogs for you to read through, it just handles it. It books the table, orders the specific ingredients for the side dishes you want to cook at home, and sends out the calendar invites to your friends. This completely shatters our current perception of the internet as this giant, passive filing cabinet and turns it into an active, working engine. To make sense of all this, here's our roadmap. First, the end of search. Second, the shift to answer engines. Third, the era of agents. Fourth, the synthetic convergence. And finally, preparing for the future.
All right, section 1, the end of search.
Get this, by 2026, traditional search engine volume is projected to plummet by a staggering 25%. 25%. Users are rapidly pivoting over to conversational AI interfaces. Because think about it, we're moving away from typing those short, fragmented, caveman-style keywords into a search bar. Instead, we're asking longer, complex, natural language questions, and we expect a fully synthesized, direct answer right then and there. Nobody wants a list of links they have to sift through to do their own homework anymore. This is giving rise to the zero-click search, where your entire question is answered perfectly right on the interface. Moving right along to section 2. The shift to answer engines. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive strategic pivot every single digital creator and business has to make. Over on the left, we've got traditional SEO, search engine optimization. For literally 2 decades, the whole game was just optimizing to rank high in a list of blue links. But on the right is the future, AEO, or answer engine optimization. This new paradigm isn't about optimizing for a destination anymore, it's about optimizing your content to be the direct AI-generated answer. Your goal isn't to rank number 1 on a page, it is to be the cited source that the AI actively uses to synthesize its response. So, how exactly do you become that cited source? Well, you've got to master the new content imperative, which really leans on these 3 pillars. First up is semantic depth. You can't just sprinkle keywords around anymore. Your content actually needs to cover topics and subtopics comprehensively, so an AI truly grasps the context. Second is structured data. This means using really clear formatting and schema markup behind the scenes, giving the AI models explicit clues about what your content actually is. And third, EEAT. Experience, expertise, authority, and trust. AI models are trained to prioritize highly credible sources, so actively demonstrating your unique human expertise is absolutely crucial to standing out over a sea of generic automated content.
Now here's the so what, the mind-blowing data behind why this actually matters. Studies have found that traffic driven by AI search can convert up to 23 times better than traditional organic search. Yeah, 23 times. Because when an AI actually cites you, it's delivering exactly what the user asked for. It's a perfect, frictionless match to their highly specific, long-tail intent. For the businesses that adapt to this, it's an absolute economic game changer. Which brings us to section 3, the era of agents.
So the crucial point is understanding exactly what an AI agent actually is. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is as a brain with hands and a plan. Unlike a traditional reactive chatbot that just spits out an answer to your question and stops, an AI agent understands a broader goal. It can semi-autonomously develop a whole multi-step plan to achieve that goal, and then, here's the kicker, it actually takes action on your behalf across multiple different systems under your guidance. Let's look under the hood at how this actually works. Step 1, it understands the goal. Step 2, it develops the multi-step plan. Step 3, it takes action. Take a major global manufacturer, for example. They're already using AI agents right now to completely manage their email-based order processing. The agent understands the goal of fulfilling an order, it goes in and checks the inventory, it automatically updates the CRM, and replies directly to the customer. We're talking about automating 80% of transactional decisions and cutting response times from nearly 2 days down to near real time. It operates completely seamlessly across all these enterprise platforms. And because these agents are out there doing the manual execution, orchestration becomes the absolute critical skill for us humans.
Your job isn't doing the manual task anymore. It's designing the system. You have to set the intent, oversee these complex multi-agent workflows, and manage what's called atomicity. That basically just means ensuring that if a system randomly crashes mid-operation, the agent's actions are totally reversible and don't completely break your business logic. You're the conductor now, and the AI agents, they're your orchestra. All right, on to Section 4, the synthetic convergence. So, cognitive psychology tells us our brains have two main decision-making pathways. System 1 is our fast, unconscious, emotional brain. System 2 is our slow, deliberative, rational brain. And here is where things get really fascinating. As AI agents start completely taking over those slow, rational System 2 tasks, comparing prices, reading through dense spec sheets, crunching data, human decisions are naturally going to lean heavily, maybe even almost exclusively, into that emotional, unconscious System 1. And because the AI is suddenly doing all the logical heavy lifting, your brand has to target those deep biological imperatives. Enter the NESB framework from neuromarketing. Basically, our unconscious purchasing decisions are driven by offerings that are new, easy, safe, and big. When AI completely removes the friction of using the internet, your brand's messaging has to hit those neurological pathways instantly. You've got to promise a clear emotional transformation from a current reality to a desired reality, because the AI already handled all the boring logic for them.
But of course, there's a catch in this new ecosystem. We call it the personalization privacy paradox. To be incredibly helpful and hit those deep emotional cues, an AI agent obviously needs a vast amount of your personal data. But at the same time, modern consumers demand absolute privacy, especially now in a post-cookie world. The brands that win are going to be the ones that brilliantly resolve this tension. They'll actively demonstrate the tangible value a user gets in exchange for their data, treating privacy as a fundamental trust-building feature rather than just some annoying compliance checkbox.
Finally, Section 5, preparing for the future. First up, we need to recognize this number, 4 years. That is now the half-life of a learned skill. Literally, what you know today will be half as valuable in just 4 short years. The competitive edge in 2026 isn't just about having access to the best AI model, because those are getting commoditized super fast. Your real advantage is continuous learning. Building an AI-ready workforce through constant upskilling is the only surefire way to separate the folks who adapt from the folks who become completely obsolete. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the realization that when technology fully commoditizes convenience, human-centric branding is your ultimate and maybe your only differentiator. Look, if I just tell my AI agent, hey, order me a pizza, the AI decides who gets my money based on logistics. But if I explicitly say, order me a pizza from Joe's Brooklyn Slice, Joe's brand wins. You have to build a brand that humans specifically ask for by name, whether you're selling sneakers or B2B software. Otherwise, you just become a generic commodity filtered out by an algorithm. So here is your mandate. We have to make 2026 an action year, not a thinking year. We've got to stop just reading think pieces and theorizing about AI. The gap between the people who are just reading about AI agents and the people actually out there building and orchestrating them is massive. And honestly, it's widening every single day. We need to start actively engineering solutions, redesigning our daily workflows, and actually putting these tools into practice right now. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. Ask yourself, and seriously ask your business, what unique perspective can you provide that an AI cannot simply scrape and summarize? Because ultimately, that is where your true, undeniable human value lies in an AI-dominated future. Find that unique perspective, double down on it, build your brand around it, and let the AI agents handle the rest. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the future.